Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, so everybody knows the name Walt Disney, right? But today we're going to look past the fairy tale castles and really try to understand the man who built them. And our guide for this journey is Bob Thomas's incredible biography.
He was an open book. That's what Walt's barber actually said about him. But was he really? That's what we're here to figure out. We're going to peel back the layers of the corporate myth and try to get a look at the real person, this driven, super complex, and honestly often contradictory genius behind it all.
And this book by Bob Thomas, it's really our key to unlocking all of that. It's just packed with details and these really personal stories that show you the relentless creator hiding behind that famous public image.
All right, here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll get a quick look at the book, dive into his early years, see how he revolutionized animation, then go beyond the screen. And finally, we'll check out his last big idea and give it our final grade. Let's do this.
All right, first things first, let's get a quick snapshot of the book we're talking about today. So this isn't your typical dry corporate history. Not at all. Thomas's book really hones in on Walt the man, showing us that his obsessive creative drive was the real engine behind the entire Disney empire. So where did this all come from? Well, to really get the guy who built these incredible fantasy worlds, you've got to go back to the beginning. You have to understand the boy who grew up on a farm.
Just look at this timeline. It's this wild ride of ambition and, well, failure, over and over again. From that idyllic farm life in Marceline to his first studio going totally bankrupt in Kansas City, you start to see that every single setback wasn't just a lesson. It was forging this deep need for control and this unbelievable resilience that would pretty much define his whole life.
Your pay is the board and room that I provide for you. Can you imagine hearing that from your own dad after you've been working this brutal paper route in the freezing cold? This one line from the book, man, it explains so much. It gives you a real sense of the hardship that lit a fire under him, a drive not just for money, but for complete and total control.
So coming from those really tough beginnings, Walt didn't just want a job in the animation industry. No, he was about to completely reinvent the whole thing. And check this out. This was no accident. It was a master plan. Step 1, perfect a character right after losing his first one. Step 2, add sound and make him a star. Step 3, introduce jaw-dropping color. See the pattern? Each move was a huge gamble, and he used the profits from one to fund the next, even crazier risk, which all led to him betting the entire company on Snow White. I love this. He would literally go through the trash cans, rescue sketches his animators threw out, and pin this note to them: quit throwing the good stuff away. It just says everything, doesn't it? It shows his almost fanatical obsession with detail. He could see pure potential where his own incredible artist just saw a mistake. But here's the thing about Walt. The movie screen, it was never going to be big enough for his ambition. He wanted to literally break through it. He wanted to build worlds that you could step inside of. So he starts asking this question, right? What if the screen isn't big enough? What if you could walk right into the story? And that question, that leads to the single most audacious pivot of his entire life. He's not just a filmmaker anymore. He's about to become a world builder. And get this, over a single weekend, he and an artist sketched out the entire vision. He imagined something totally different from the dirty, kind of sketchy amusement parks of the day. He wanted a place that was clean, that was safe, and most importantly, a place where parents and kids could actually have fun together. And you see from his mission statement, Disneyland was never just about roller coasters. It was about building a real physical place dedicated to happiness and knowledge. It was this idealized version of America, a mix of nostalgia for a past that maybe never even existed, and this really optimistic vision for the future. So Disneyland is a massive, massive success. But believe it or not, Walt's biggest, most ambitious dream was still to come. And tragically, it's the one he never got to finish. Yeah, we're talking about Epcot. And I don't mean the theme park you can visit today. Walt's original vision was his final obsession: the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. This was going to be a real living city. For a guy obsessed with perfection, this was his answer to all the problems of modern cities. Listen to this. His vision was for a completely controlled utopia. No slums, no landowners,
no voting. It was going to be a city where huge corporations would test out new technologies, and people would live in this constantly changing, centrally planned world. It's a vision that's both totally brilliant and, honestly, a little bit chilling.
Okay, so we've journeyed through Walt's incredible life with Bob Thomas's book as our guide. What's the final verdict here?
Here's the big takeaway from this whole story. Walt Disney's real genius, it wasn't just that he was a great artist, it was that he was a master psychologist. He had this unbelievable, almost magical ability to tap into what we all dream about and then convince people to build things that they were sure were impossible.
And as for the book itself, it is just a masterclass in biography. Thomas gives you so much detail, so many personal stories. He perfectly balances the public legend with the private man, the tough boss, the loving father. You really see how everything connected, from his days as a paperboy all the way to his dream of building a city.
So, for its incredible research, its amazing storytelling, and for painting what is probably the definitive portrait of this cultural giant, we are giving Walt Disney, by Bob Thomas, a solid 9 out of 10. So, if you are fascinated by this story of a visionary who was, let's be honest, part artist and part dictator, then you'll probably love these books too. They're deep dives into other titans of industry who had that same kind of relentless drive to build an empire and change the world.
And that's it for our explainer today. If you want more deep dives like this one into the people who literally shaped the world we live in, make sure you hit that follow and subscribe button. Thanks for watching.